Yo, what's good YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I got a special video for you guys. So I want to know more about 096, right? I know he's called the Shy Guy. I know apparently you can't look at him, but I want to know more about him. So I think, why not make a video on him and see and get more information. Now I didn't know there was apparently there was multiple people explaining him, and I couldn't find because they all looked like good channels that had in-depth information. So I just picked a smaller channel so they can have a chance to explain it to me. So what SCP-096 is. Shout out to Film Comics Explain. Appreciate you, my boy, for explaining this in depth, hopefully in depth with us. But yeah, without further ado, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want more SCP videos, let me know in the comment section. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
Recording.
That's way too loud, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's early in the morning. Oops, my bad.
Okay, this is researcher Michael Allen.
And researcher Daryl Landry. Audio blips were picked up by sensors Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. There it is again.
This is actually pretty impressive animation, I'm not gonna lie.
The readings are showing 096 on the north wall. Stationary.
It should hold, right?
Just get a hold of Alexis.
Oh my god. I don't get it. They didn't even look at a picture of him, did they? Did that iPad oh my gosh, what is my computer doing? Please stop. Did that iPad have a picture of him? I can't remember.
There it is again.
No, it doesn't show a picture.
The readings are showing...
Wait, was that a picture of him?
The readings are blips were picked up by sensors Alpha 1 and Alpha 2.
I'm actually serious. Was that a picture of him? That just popped up on activity?
The readings are showing 096 on the north wall. Stationary.
No, it doesn't.
It should hold, right?
Just get a hold of Alexis.
Okay. Yeah, that
Hey
brother
guys,
gone.
what's happening?
That dude gone.
Niat here with Film Comics Explained. And, as voted for by everyone in the latest poll, today we'll be diving further into the SCP Foundation lore. I have already made a few SCP videos in a playlist I'll be leaving a link to below, so some
that a
of you are
movie?
pretty aware of the Foundation and what they do. But for the uninitiated, the SCP Foundation is a fictional organization entrusted by governments around the world to locate and contain individuals, entities, locations, and objects that appear to violate natural laws, all referred to as SCPs. SCP-096, also known as Jack Bright, servant of the Hang King, and the Shy Guy, is a major
I did not know his name was Jack Bright. So, was he human before all this? Okay.
antagonist in the SCP mythos.
Listen up, grab the fam,
Bro,
call
I
your
don't
crew, 'cause it's ice
care,
cream making
bro,
time,
I
and
don't
tonight we're
care.
churning up some serious fun.
It is a Euclid-class object contained by the Foundation, and one of the most iconic and recognizable SCPs. It shows no sign of any higher brain functions beyond the need to locate its victims, and is not considered to be sapient. This, however, does not mean it is harmless. Far from it. In fact, it is one of the most dangerous and nigh unstoppable entities the SCP Foundation has come across. The Servant of the Hang King is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. The subject has very little muscle mass, with preliminary analysis suggesting malnutrition. Their arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters, and its skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation or body hair. Its jaw can open up to 4 times that of an average human. Other facial features remain similar to humans, with the exception of the eyes, which are also devoid of pigmentation, suggesting it might be blind.
Okay.
The Shy Guy is normally docile. Pressure sensors inside its cell indicate it spends most of the day pacing by the eastern wall. However, when someone views its face, either directly, via recording, or even a photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. The object will cover its head with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently. After 2 minutes, it will begin running at the person who viewed its face at 35 to 100 kilometers per hour, regardless of where they are in the world. At this point, no material or method can impede its progress. The actual position of the target does not affect the entity's response. The object seems to have an innate sense of its targets. It's important to note that this reaction does not occur when artistic depictions of it are viewed, due to the inherent imperfections that prevent the entity from recognizing the drawings as being that of its face. Upon arriving at the target's location, the object will proceed to kill and consume the subject, leaving no traces of them. It will then sit down for several minutes before regaining its composure and becoming docile again, upon which it will make its way back to its natural habitat. If you make the mistake of glancing at its face directly or indirectly, there is nothing that can save you, as among its powers are the ability to track down whoever looked at its face, regardless of where they are, unlimited strength and stamina, superhuman speed, senses, durability and endurance, pain immunity, self-sustenance, biological immortality, extrasensory perception,
Yeah, we okay. This guy is like super busted because he went toe to toe. He beat Omni-Man. He beat Homelander, which is not a surprise. Homelander is like a complete fraud. And he beat Yujiro Hanma. So, yeah, he's pretty busted so far.
breakable bones, regeneration, 2. Reactive adaptation. It's basically a biological Terminator with no allegiance, no moral compass.
I'm not gonna lie, he kind of ugly, bro.
No desire but to fade into obscurity and become invisible. Due to the possibility of a mass chain reaction that could lead to...
Yeah, want me to play the SCP game? Let me know in the comment section. I'll play for you guys, but it's gonna have to be in like different parts. I'm not gonna lie, I can't play the whole game. Like apparently the game's really long, so I can't play the whole game.
Major civilian casualties. Retrieval of the subject and any images or video recordings of its face are alpha priority for the SCP Foundation.
Right.
096 is to be contained in an airtight steel cube cell at all times. Weekly checks for cracks or holes in the containment are mandatory, and there is absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind permitted inside the cell. To get around this, security personnel use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure its presence inside. Any and all photos, video, or recordings of the object's likeness are strictly forbidden without approval and could lead to termination. At some point, the Department of Abnormalities found SCP-096 and locked it inside one of their facilities in Stuttgart, Germany, which would later be designated SCP-6720. The personnel created appropriate procedures to contain the object, but unfortunately, as a result of an unknown accident, 096 killed most of the personnel.
Imagine if something like this coming after you, chat. Like, I would be shitting bricks, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
And escaped. It was discovered by the SCP Foundation in its natural habitat near a classified mountain, and the Zulu 9 A-Team was sent to capture it.
Okay, petition imminent termination of 096. Order is awaiting approval. Termination order has been approved. Okay, this is just like unimportant information. Okay. Oh my gosh! Actually, this game kind of tough. Hold up. Anyways. I might have to play that game.
Get initial retrieval duty. You have no idea what the damn thing is capable of, besides what jacked up information the field techies can scrape up. And you're lucky if they even tell you the whole story. They told us to bag and tag. Didn't tell us jack shit about not looking at the damn thing.
Could you describe the mission, please?
Yeah, sorry. We had 2 choppers, one with my team and one backup with Zulu 9B and Dr. We spotted the target about 2 clicks north of our patrol path. I'm guessing he wasn't facing our direction, else he would have taken us out then and there.
Your report says SCP-096 didn't react to the cold. It was negative degrees?
Actually, it was negative. And yes, it was butt naked and didn't so much as shiver. Anyway, we landed, approached the target, and Corporal got ready to bag it up. That's when Dr. called. I turned to answer it, and that's what saved me. The target must have turned, and my whole squad saw it.
That's when SCP-096 entered an agitated emotional state.
Yeah. Sorry. Got chills for a second.
That's alright.
Well, I never saw its face. My squad did, and they paid for it up the ass.
Could you describe it a little more, please?
It started screaming at us and crying. Not animal roaring, though. Sounded exactly like a person. Really fucking creepy. We started firing when it picked up Corporal and ripped off.
Chad, I could never... Bro, I could not work at the SCP Foundation. I could never do it.
Off his leg. God, he was screaming for our help. Anyway, we were blowing chunks out of the target, round after round. Didn't do jack shit. I almost lost it when it started eating him.
That's when you ordered the use of an anti-tank gun.
AT-4 HEDT launcher. Started carrying it ever since SCP got loose. I seen those tear through tanks like tissue paper. Did the same thing to the target.
There was significant damage to SCP-096?
It didn't even fucking flinch. It kept tearing apart my squad, but with half of its torso gone.
That's crazy.
But it was taking damage.
If it was, it wasn't showing it. It must have lost all of its organs, all of its blood, but it didn't acknowledge any of it. Its bone structure wasn't hurt at all, though. It kept tearing my squad apart.
So, no actual structural damage. How many rounds would you say were fired at SCP-096?
Our door gunner kept his GAU-19 on it for at least 20 seconds. 20 seconds? That's 600.5 caliber rounds pumped into the thing. Might as well been spitting at it.
This is when Zulu 9B arrived?
Yeah, and my squad was gone. Zulu 9B managed to get the bag over its head, and it just sat down. We got it onto the chopper and got it here. I don't know how I never saw its face.
We've obtained an artist's depiction of SCP-096's face. Would you like to view it?
Is this a joke? Are you kidding me?
Alright, I believe we're done here. Thank you, Captain.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you would ask me that question, bro, I would have smacked the shit out of you. I'm not gonna lie.
Let this be on record that I'm formally requesting SCP-096 be terminated as soon as possible.
A researcher in the Foundation, referred to as Dr. Dan, created a device called Scramble to make containing the object easier. It resembled night vision goggles and worked by identifying and scrambling the image of SCP-096's face. This meant that a team could directly look at it without fear of being terminated. The device was tested when the entity entered its agitated state and breached containment. The cause of this escape, a mountaineer that had taken a picture in the 90s that captured the object's face far in the background in 4 pixels, had just looked at the image and noticed the pixelated abnormality. The entity's cross-country beeline to reach the mountaineer led to a high number of civilian deaths along the way, with many more people seeing its face as it walked along the highway. The Mobile Task Force Tau 1, also known as Big Brother, managed to get ahead of it and move the citizens of the unknown town, blindfolding them and keeping them in the square until the operation was ended. It arrived, having shrugged off hundreds of minigun rounds, but as the team approached, the scramble device failed and their brains received a nanosecond of SCP-096's unscrambled facial image, leading to the complete annihilation of the team and the mountain hiker, who, understandably, had no idea what was going on. After killing the last of its victims, the entity was recaptured by placing a bag on its head. To prevent public outcry and ensure the valuable work at the SCP Foundation remained a secret, the event was covered up as a deadly plane crash. It was later discovered that Scramble failed because Dr. Dan deliberately sabotaged the device to show the higher-ups the immense danger posed by this monster, after his calls for its extermination were ignored. Realizing that any image or record of the object around the world could be a potential trigger, O5 Command finally approved the order. But in a cruel twist of fate, not before the Doctor was terminated for causing so much death
Oh, so they killed the Doctor. That's crazy.
himself. The irony is, of course, that all attempts made by the Foundation to terminate the indestructible Shy Guy, including cross-tests using other SCPs, have failed.
Why not just put it out on like you probably can do that by just putting it in a box, right? In a locked box, and you put it on a deserted island that nobody has ever ventured to, and they just leave it there. That's miles away from civilization.
And as it stands, it remains in containment, waiting for the next unfortunate soul to stumble across its space.
That was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty good. If you guys want me to react to more SCPs, let me know in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be uploading more today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to share the video with your friends. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.